The modern man tutorials. Alpha, beta, and sigma, essentially, right? The way ladies, view you, because a lot of guys have the misconception of the alpha beta thing, because they're looking at it from our point of view, right? From among guys, what an alpha is, what a beta is among guys. So that's the perception they're looking from, right? That's the way they're seeing it. But not understanding that when I'm talking about alpha and beta, I'm talking about from a female's perspective, the way they see us, right? Alpha is the guy she wants. Beta is the guy that she'll deal with, right? So it's not the same thing. So if I'm saying you're being beta, that means you're being the type of guy that she's going to mess with you, but she's just going to only take advantage of you. She's not going to simp for you. She's not going to, cheat on somebody with you. She's more likely going to cheat on you. That's the type of scenarios that tends to happen. Just like when I see guys complaining, oh yeah, I'm currently in that situation where a chick, she cheated on me, or she's leaving me, or whatever. And it's like, yeah, and you're crying about it. That's pretty beta, right? Alphas don't do that, right? As in guys who are archly desired by chicks, they're not crying over chicks because there's always another one, another one, and another one, and another one. Just like DJ Khaled says, another one. So there's always another chick that's in line to take the place of the last chick. So alphas are not out here complaining that chicks are leaving. If anything, they're complaining that most chicks are not leaving. It's like, oh damn, this chick be getting on my nerves. She really ain't my type like that. She got a nice body, but her personality is trash. Blah blah blah. She won't leave me alone. Blah blah. Like that's what alphas are talking about. They're not complaining that chicks are leaving. If anything, they complain that most chicks aren't leaving. Especially if all they wanted to do was hit it, and that's it. All they wanted was sex. They got it. They don't want nothing more, right? So that's the thing. This is part of the complaints females have about guys. A lot of times they say men, right? Is that the guy doesn't want to stay with her, doesn't want to keep her, doesn't want to make her the girlfriend. And that's why we're like, that's the alpha. That's the guy that she wants, she chases, but he doesn't give her a relationship, right? He doesn't treat her good, as they say. So then the good boys, aka the betas, right, and the female's point of view, are the ones who will give you a relationship, but she's not interested. Like, you would be her boyfriend, but you're not desirable by her. Like, she doesn't desire you enough for it. So even though you'll give her a relationship, she doesn't want it from you. She wants it from that guy, the alpha, right? A, B, 1 and 2. So her number one draft pick, which is which we call an alpha, that's who she wants. But he has options, because he is not only picked by her, he's picked by multiple chicks. So multiple chicks like him. So it's like, okay, I'm in a position where I have all these options. I don't need to just, to pick one and stay with one. I can just, be my whole phase, right? Just like chicks who have all these guys DMing them, don't be surprised that they want to exercise their options, right? Because they have options. That's the thing. People with options tend to want to exercise it, right? If you had the option to to work a 9 to 5 to make money, or just get money for free, you would choose get money for free. So let's not act like we wouldn't take advantage of an advantage. That's all an alpha really is. It's someone who has an advantage, right? Someone who has something that they didn't even put that much effort into, right? Chicks throwing themselves at them, right? That's what tends to be. That's why we have guys that we call fuckboys. That all they want is to fuck, and that's it. They don't want nothing more than that. They don't want relationship, right? And they used to be the bad guys. That was the funny thing. And originally, when Red Pill, in 2020, when it started revving up, it was the whole idea of, the guys who are alpha are the bad guys, and the good guys are the betas, right? The good men. And then now it's like every guy is trying to be alpha. Oh, I'm alpha, and then trying to equate that to being a good man. I'm a good man. I'm alpha. Like, no, no, that's That's a that's a contradiction because that's not what an alpha was. Alpha was the bad guy, right? Alpha was the fuckboy, right? Bad guy, as in he was the wrong choice. It's like, yeah, you want him, but he doesn't want you. So for you ladies, it's a bad idea to chase after the alpha because he's not going to stay. He's going to cheat. He's gonna exercise his options. If you want a better, long term relationship, the betas was the ones you should be picking. But you look down on betas. You prefer the alphas, right? You prefer plan A over plan B, right? Pun intended. So that's the difference between alpha and beta in females' perception. So if a chick, gets with another guy when she's with you, right? That's because the other guy's alpha in her mind, right? Because she's not going to cheat on you with a beta. She's going to cheat on you with an alpha, somebody she sees as better than you, right? Whether he is or not is irrelevant. Again, it's about their mindset. Remember, they do things through feelings. So if she feels that he's alpha, that he's better, then she's going to go with that feeling that he's better. So this whole, I'm alpha, I do this, that, I got money, I go to gym, all that nonsense is like that's irrelevant. That's cute among us guys, but when it comes to male and female dynamics, males and females, interacting, that whole alpha and beta stuff is irrelevant because they're the ones who decide if you're alpha or beta in their mind. If you're the alpha guy, if you're the one guy to rule them all, right? If you're the guy she would cheat on her boyfriend or husband with. If you're the guy she would respond to the DMs even though she got a man. Shit, I was in a scenario where a chick was doing a live stream with her man and she got on her phone and she hit me up. And I was like, what? You could have just said hi through the video. You didn't have to get on your phone behind your man and then hit me up. Just say hi. You could just say hi to the video. But, hey, ladies, chicks are going to do what they're going to do, right? And that's the thing is, you just need to know if you are a beta or an alpha in her mind. It's not really fully about personality traits. It's about positioning. It's the same thing as you're either in her friend zone, aka beta, right, or you're in her, or you're her man, alpha, right? So it's about positioning. So in her mind, are you in the beginning of the alphabet A, or in the second slot B? Or are you C, D, D, S, G, right? All that stuff. And then there's the sigma, right? There's alpha, beta, and then sigma, right? To me, sigma is just a fancy way of saying incel. A lot of guys would disagree, but that's all I'm really seeing with all this sigma male stuff. Is like, okay, a whole bunch of incels. And I call them vincels, as in voluntarily incelibate, right? Voluntarily, involuntarily celibate. So they're choosing to be incels. And then, so the whole sigma male thing, like, yeah, I don't need chicks, screw society, I focus on myself, blah, 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 all that nonsense is like so delusional. Like a lot of chicks out there be delusional, think they strong independent, don't need a man. So sigma male is basically the male equivalent. Okay, whatever. No one cares. If you're not interested in, in the male-female relationship dynamic, then shut the fuck up and move along. This is for people who want to be in a relationship. This is for guys. My content is for guys who want to be with women, not want to focus on themselves, not to want to be on videos crying, talking about, yeah, me too, she left me, yeah, me too, oh, she left me, oh my god, I'm going through that right now, I think she's cheating on me, all that beta shit, all that weak shit, right? It's bad enough to have that mentality, right, where it's like, oh my god, I need to let the world know that, I wasn't man enough for the chick to view me as her number one draft pick, right, her alpha. She instead wants another guy. Well, that means you weren't man enough for her, right? You weren't the guy that she wants over every other guy. That's gonna happen, right? Just like if she wasn't the one for you, then you're gonna replace her, right? If she's not hot enough, she's not smart enough, whatever you care about. If she's not the one, she's not the one. You're gonna move on, right? And the thing is, it's about being prepared to move on. But too many of you guys are out here trying to be obsessed over a chick. And the funny thing is, most of you guys don't pick a chick because she meets all your standards. Because one, most of you guys don't have standards. The thing is, y'all pick her out of convenience. A lot of you guys get lucky if y'all end up with a chick. And then you be ungrateful after you get with her. Be very ungrateful. It's like, what? You should be grateful that you at least got that far. Most guys don't even get to have a girlfriend. You got one, and then you're complaining that she left. Like, so, it's like, oh my god, she cheated on me. Okay, that is fucked up, but he still hit though, right? So it doesn't really matter. Now, if you've been with her for 4 years, you never hit, and then other guys was hitting her the whole time, hitting that. It's like, well, okay, yeah, that's your fault, because 4 years you didn't hit, then yeah, you were being beta. It was so obvious you were beta. Yet for some reason you allowed yourself to be beta for 4 years. It's like, damn, you didn't even try to improve yourself in any shape, way, or form. In her mind, try to be different. To get her to let you hit. Right, that right there. Because the thing is, women, the female gender, they do love through sex. So if they're fucking you, they definitely loving you. Right? It's guys that don't love through sex. So a guy can fuck a chick he hates. A guy can fuck a whole bunch of chicks that he don't find attractive. Because we don't love with our penises. We love with our actual hearts, right? We love with our mind. So for us, love is logical. I like how she smiles. I like how she smells. We get along. I like how she feels in my arms. Like we find reasons to like a chick, right? And it's not just, oh yeah, she bends over for me whenever I ask for it. I'm in love. No, sex for us is the same thing as taking a piss. We're not in love when we take a piss. We're not in love when we brush our teeth. We're not in love when we breathe air. So sex for us is just a function. It's just something we can do. Obviously, one, sex is for reproducing anyway. So it's a function and stuff. I just say function, right? It's a function. It's a biological function, right? It's for the purpose of reproducing. It's not love. But women are only willing to open their legs usually because of love. So they have that feeling, right? Emotions, feeling of love, then they'll open their legs. So if they love you, they'll open their legs, right? So again, she loves the alpha. Even if the alpha is an asshole, she still loves him, right? No, I still love him, right? That's why Will and Jada Smith going through the shit she's going through, because she still has feelings for Tupac, and that guy's gone. And Will's her husband, and she doesn't appreciate him. So he's allowing himself to be beta, even though he could easily be alpha, right? Because he's successful and whatnot, good looking, all that good stuff, right? He has options, but he's trying to be loyal to this chick that ain't loyal to him, right? So he's being beta. Because it's obvious. The dynamic he's in is obvious. That it's not a good position to be in. She should be desiring him, not this, right? Not some other dude. So he needs to correct that. And then for you guys, it's the same thing. It's like, you're not alpha because you self-proclaim yourself alpha, or you do a lot of different quote-unquote alpha things, and that makes you alpha. No, that's among us. We can be like, yeah, you're alpha because you're doing alpha male stuff, whatever. But chicks don't see that. Chicks don't think, oh, he's alpha, oh, he's beta. No, they go with their feelings. And it's like, I like him, I don't like him as much. We label it as alpha and beta when she makes that distinction, but they don't use those terms when they think about, like, yeah, I'll put you in my friend zone. For us, he's a beta, he got a friend zone. See, that's different. We give the label to the decisions that chicks make. He's clear alpha because she wants him more than she wants this guy. This guy clearly beta because he's less desirable by her. But she's not going to let him get away. She's going to keep him around and use him, right? So beta, alpha, that's it. It's just a pecking order, as they say, right? It's just an order of things. You know, you can see it, be like, okay, yep, he's beta. He's just a placeholder, right?
Obviously, I'm not. Obviously, I'm not having any female problems. So that means, okay, there's certain qualities about me. There's certain things that I guess makes up for the lack of, that inch, that lack of fitness, the lack of. Uh, I am an older gentleman, so lack of youth or attractiveness, however you want, if you want to look at it that way. I see it differently. I mean, the ways a lot of the ladies look at me, especially on the way home today, I'm like, yeah, my silver foxness, silver foxness is kicking in. My white hairs are bringing in the ladies. I got long white hair, obviously, so I'm slowly starting to look a lot like what's his name, The Witcher. He's badass, and a lot of chicks like The Witcher. So I am noticing a lot of long gazes. But anyway, the point is I get female attention. I interact with ladies. You know, I be interacting with them, talking with them on Instagram and this, that, and there. So I'm not without female engagement. And most guys, most of you guys, don't have female engagement. Most of you guys could barely talk to one chick. I'm talking to multiples, right? And there's times where I'm, debating. I just finished debating with a feminist, right? Before making this video. Of course, I won. Um, because it's all about just making it understandable where I stand, and usually most chicks, they tend to want to agree with the guy that they're talking to. Feminists, of course, want to convince you that they're right and want you to agree with them, but more likely, what's going to happen is, if you know what you're talking about, more likely they're going to end up agreeing with you, because if you make sense, you make points. The funny thing is, she even said that that I had made a good point, but then I said something else that kind of confused her or something that didn't make sense. Instead of replying to that, responding to that specifically, I was like, okay, I'm just going to skip past that and just go to the next. And of course, she definitely wants to talk a lot when I'm getting notification after notification. So she's having all these back-to-back comments sending to me. And of course, you got to pick and choose which ones to respond to. Like, I think I skipped like 3 of them because it would have been a waste of time, because it just would have created a different uh, thread of conversation. It's like, no, let's stay on topic. Right? The topic is about cheating, and let's stay on that topic. Of course, the usual. She was obviously try to make things personal. Try to say I don't have chicks and this, that, and third, and I'm a dusty and all this other stuff. It's like, okay, trying to insult me. Okay, that's a typical tactic. I'm used to it, obviously, but you know it fails as always, because I focused and stayed on topic. Right, that we're talking about a specific thing, and all I'm just trying to do is let you know what I'm talking about. As long as you understand what I'm talking about, that's all that matters. It's not about being right or wrong. It's about, do you understand what I'm saying? You can disagree. I just want you to understand what you're disagreeing with, as opposed to not understanding what I'm saying, and that's why you disagree. You disagree because you don't know. I'd rather you disagree with with intelligence than to disagree with ignorance. So that's the kind of stuff that I deal with. Anyway, like I said, talking to the ladies, interacting with them, and getting better and better, right, at talking to them. And that's where you get the scenarios where, regardless of 6 feet, 6 pack, all that stuff, you still get the ladies, right? They still are interested in you because of that dynamic. So I try to focus on the fact that, when it comes to the alpha and beta thing, chicks, they're the ones who choose the alphas, and the alphas usually represented the bad boys, right? The guys they really, really want, but don't tend to treat them very well, as in they don't try to give them relationships, right? Those are the guys they ideally want to be in a relationship, but those guys don't want to be in a relationship, and they have so many options because they have, they have so many chicks throwing themselves at them that he chooses not to settle down, right? Basically, he's in his whole phase. Can't be surprised, right? Because when chicks are constantly having guys throwing themselves at them, what do, right? So it shouldn't be too surprised when an alpha male guy does the same thing, right? That's what makes him alpha. He's just a male equivalent to a chick in her whole phase. That's all it is. Fuck boy, fuck girl type stuff. So when you're in that position, you're going to take advantage of it, right? Just like if you won the lottery, right, and you're a millionaire, you're just going to do millionaire stuff, right? You're not going to keep going to work and whatnot. You're going to try to find a way to make more money with the money and live a millionaire lifestyle and not work ever again. You're not going to, gotta put that money away, save it for when I'm old and, work hard, 9 to 5, blah, blah, blah. No, you're not going to do that. That's stupid. That'd be dumb to do. When you have a, good opportunity to take advantage of it. But anyway, like I said, the thing is, chicks choose alphas, right? Who's alpha and who's beta? That's why it's so ironic to see a lot of guys out there trying to self-proclaim themselves as something, because they're trying to be like, oh, alpha is a mindset. It's like, among us, yeah, we can say alpha is a mindset. It's certain characteristics that makes you alpha among guys, and then that can translate over to you being popular among the ladies. That is possible, but that's not typically when it comes to ladies don't think of it that way. When it comes to the alpha and beta, when they choose, it's again with their feelings, so it's not about logic. So this whole, you gotta meet certain requirements for a chick to choose you. No, she has to feel something to choose you, right? So if she feels like she wants you, then she wants you. If she feels like it, which means even a beta, even an incel can be chosen as the alpha by a chick if she feels that he's her number one pick. Because that's all an alpha really is. It's her number one pick. A beta is her secondary pick. An incel is her it's her rejection, right? An incel is a chick is something she wouldn't pick, right? Something she's not a fan of, and that's where Sigma comes in. But that's for a different conversation. Point is when a chick chooses, who she wants and who she doesn't. See, because a beta would be put into a friend zone. A beta, like a chick would cheat on a beta with an alpha, obviously, but she wouldn't cheat on an alpha with a beta. She would try to cheat on the alpha if she can with another alpha, but like I said, she wouldn't cheat with on an alpha with a beta, because that's the thing. Like I said, it's their mindset. So if they it's the whole, they see who, for them an alpha is better than a beta, right? So if this guy that she really likes is better than another guy that she has access to, automatically in her mind, okay, that's the alpha, that's the guy that's better than that guy. But this guy's not giving me attention. This guy is. So I'm ignore him, be with this guy because he's useful, and he'll just be a placeholder until I finally get the attention of the alpha. And this is why sometimes, eventually, the relationship was going nice, but then an opportunity with alpha presents itself, and then boom, she cheats on you, or she wants to break it up. And you're like, whoa, what did I do wrong? It's like, it wasn't you, per se. It wasn't you. It's just that you're not her alpha. You're not her number one draft pick. You're her, bench warmer, right? You're her secondary pick. You're her placeholder for the alpha. So you're just number two while she's waiting to get number one, right? You're second place and she's trying to get to first place. So she's just waiting. She's just using you as a waiting station. And the thing is about figuring out which one are you. Are you the alpha or are you the beta, right? In her mind, not are you alpha or beta based off of like how you behave, or oh, I'm alpha because I go to the gym and watch red pill content. It's like that. That doesn't make you alpha. If anything, if you really pay attention, most check out here don't like the red pill stuff, right? If anything, most chicks out here don't like guys who, talking about they a gym bro or talking about going to the gym. So it works to a certain degree. I'm not saying don't go to the gym or anything. I'm just saying it's not what chicks out here demanding. Chicks ain't demanding guys to, you know, be about their purpose, focus on themselves, go to the gym, blah blah blah, which is the shit you hear in the red pill community. And chicks are definitely not telling guys to be alpha because they're not the ones using these terms, but they are the ones who are choosing within those terms, as in they're choosing the alpha, aka usually the bad boy, or just the guy that gets her turned on. The beta, or the good boy, is just second choice. It's like, oh, he's good enough, he's useful, he has his purpose, he's utility, but he's not desirable, but he's useful. So hopefully that helps most of you guys understand the difference between alpha and beta, because a lot of times I'll point out to a guy like or guys like that's stop being beta, stop acting beta, and it's referring to the fact of stop doing things that chicks will pick you as the beta, aka they will use you. Like, it's like the idea is you want to be perceived by the chick as the alpha. I'm not saying be a fuckboy. I'm not saying be an asshole. Because a lot of this red pill stuff you see out there is telling you how to act. And they don't say it, but they are. They're teaching you how to be a fuckboy. Right? But you notice chicks are always talking about, where all the good men at? Where all the good men at? It's like, the thing is, yes, the good men are out there. And they're the ones y'all label as betas. Which is why you have to try to get the chick to perceive you as an alpha, right? As her number one draft pick. So you need to switch the paradigm where being the good boy, right, the good guy, more appealing than the bad boy. So you gotta outperform the bad boys, not by being like them and try to act like them. No, because that just makes more bad fuck boys. That makes more bad guys, and more bad guys means more chicks complaining where all the good men at. Think about it. What they are looking for are good men. The thing is, unfortunately, right? The irony is, they pick the bad boys because the bad boys make them feel something. So you got to make them feel like you're that bad boy. I mean, that reminds me of one of my exes, where I was a little surprised at first, where she was talking to me about like if her and me weren't together, her sister, I would be her sister's type. And I'm like, okay, that don't make. I doubt I'll be your sister's type, considering the fact that I know your sister from middle school and I wasn't her type then, so I doubt I'm her type now. And then she was like, she likes gangster guys, thug, street type guys, I forget what the exact term, but it was basically along those lines. And it's like, I think thug or something like that. And it's like, I'm not a thug. I don't act like a thug. I'm not a thug. It was like, I'm a good boy, right? I'm a good guy. I'm a nice guy. It's like, what do you mean thug? That's strange that you see me as a thug. So in her mind, I'm that bad boy. It's like, wait, so you see me as a bad boy even though I'm a good boy? What? I mean, it's not the first time. I'm just saying it was a little surprise. Consider the fact that we talked, and she was my fiance for a while, and well, things one thing led to another, and I let her go. But that's besides the point. The point is I was surprised that she perceived me as a bad boy, right? A thug, and then that her brother, not brother, her sister, uh, I would be her sister's type. I'm like, no, my friend who likes her, he is more thuggish than me. He's more street than me. He's more of a bad boy than me. So it's like, no, he would be more of her type than me because I'm the good boy. I'm the good guy, right? So I'm the nice guy. So that's why it was kind of funny for her to basically label me as the bad boy. And that right there shows that even though I am, a good guy, right? I'm not a fuck boy. I'm popular with the ladies, yes, but I'm not a fuck boy, right? I'm not out here chasing booty. The booty's chasing me. But that's not how females perceive me. They don't see me that way. And since they don't see me that way, well, even I could call myself beta. I could say I'm a beta male. But does my interactions with the ladies reflect that? No. They're gonna treat me like I'm alpha. I'm gonna be their number one draft pick. I mean, I'll give you a little bit of personal information right now. Most of the ladies I'm speaking to right now, you know, most of them I'm finding out that they already have a man. Yet they're still talking to me. Okay. Well, we'll see how that works out. So that's the funny thing. That was like, okay, I guess I'm that guy. And I've had some chicks, even refer to me as like alpha or something, because they know about the red pill stuff, on the internet, and, was referring to me as alpha. It's like, okay, you know the term and you're using it to label me as such. Okay. Of course, they try to say I'm a fuckboy. It's like, no, 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 not a fuckboy. I'm a good guy. Men don't cheat. I ask for permission. I'm not out here. You know, I do relationships. So if I'm interested in multiple chicks, I'll be in a relationship with multiple chicks. I wouldn't be, you know, going out with one chick and then going out with another chick behind that chick's, without her knowing. No, they all know. They're all aware because I'm open with it. I'm open with the fact that I'm interacting, right? So, and I have standards. So, if a lady wants to get me in bed, she has to earn it. So, I'm not out here chasing booty. Like I said, I don't chase booty. Booty chase me. And then they have to earn their spot. So what else? So yeah, like I said, I had some people, obviously get mad at me about just pointing out the fact that it's like, okay, crying over checks, leaving you, or or not wanting you, you know, and I'm like pointing out this, like, okay, that's pretty beta, and the funny thing, I'm being nice by saying beta because I could just say incel, right? Like, oh, a bunch of incels, no chicks want you, you're losers. I could go that extreme. But for some guys, I'm like, okay, I'm being pretty beta. Recently, I made a video where I was calling a lot of guys losers, but that's because they're acting like losers. Because they're doing this whole Me Too thing. They're all like crying and trying to have a whole bunch of dudes agreeing with the idea of like, oh my God, chick doing, chick doing me dirty, chick doing me dirty type stuff. The whole Me Too thing. But they're trying to do the male version of it. It's like, nah, don't try to have no pity party here. A whole bunch of dudes crying over chicks leaving y'all. So you still hit though, right? So move on, right? That's not It's not alpha to be complaining that a chick left. It's like, all right, she left after you hit, right? Because again, the thing about being alpha is about constantly being chosen by the chicks. They choose you, right? They want you, and you're the one that gets to, you know, the on average get to hit, right? So if you were fortunate enough to hit, right, well, you got the bare minimum, right? You got what most guys want anyway. The only reason we deal with the opposite sex is for sex, typically. I'm not saying we can't have more than that, like, love and a relationship, wife status, husband status, right? Make kids and all that stuff. I'm not saying we can't have those dynamics. What I'm saying is the bare minimum is just sex. So if you having sex with these ladies, be grateful. Stop being ungrateful. Seeing guys cry that, oh my God, I was with her for 20 years and she left me, like, that's 20 years. That's great. Now you can go get another chick. Now you don't have to worry about cheating on her, right? Or you don't have to worry about asking her for permission to get another chick. Just go get another chick because you're single again, right? And as a guy, you get better with time, not worse. You get better. So you can go get another chick. That's not a problem, especially if you don't ask for too much. But I'm not going to get into that. But the thing is, seeing a whole bunch of guys crying over spilled milk, and it's like, especially when they all try to be like, yeah, I'm in the red pill, It's like, well, if you're in the red pill, then you know that that could happen, that they could leave you. If they do, you move on to the next. What you don't do is cry about it. Not once I ever heard from the red pill community, right, to cry over chicks. If anything, it's the opposite. Stop crying. So me pointing out that a whole bunch of guys are being losers because they're crying, that's not me bullying them. That's me stating a fact. It's like, that's beta behavior. Crying. Playing victim. Like, it's like, no, right? If you want to be alpha or you claim to be alpha, then that means you're not the one that's having female problems. Betas have female problems. Alphas don't. Alphas have female options. Alphas' problem is that they have too many female options and not enough time. And not enough time to, take advantage of those options. That's the difference of being alpha and beta, is that alphas have a lot of options. They could choose to be in a relationship or not. The choice is theirs, right? They have it, right? They have the advantage, right? A for advantage, A alpha, right? B for boo-hoo, right? Beta. Constantly crying about females. It's like, that don't make no sense. And then some of these guys will try to act like, they're tough, they're strong. It's like, how can you be tough and strong when a female made you sad, right? Made you feel, unloved, unwanted. It's like, what? If you were, most guys, I'll say incels, most incels, right? They're incels for a reason, right? They don't get the chick. They didn't even get to the point of being with a chick to even have sex, let alone 20 years with the chick and then she leaves. Like, most incels would love to at least have that as their bare minimum. At least get laid. The bare minimum, and then at least 20 years. Or even a week with a chick. So most guys don't get a lot. Don't even get the bare minimum, which is, sex, right? So that's why it's so funny to see, not funny, but it's like so stupid to see, guys being ungrateful with their 5-year relationships. Like, you were with a chick for 5 years. If you're with that chick for 5 years and didn't hit, yeah, you're a loser. I'm gonna tell you that. You're a loser. You lost. That's an L, right? L is short for loser. That's why it's weird for anyone to be like, oh, you're bullying them by calling them a loser. It's like, no, I'm stating a fact. They took an L. I'm just actually using the full expression, which is loser, instead of just saying L. Instead of just saying, oh, you took an L, you took an L, you took an L. No, I'm saying loser, 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 loser. They need to know that they're losers because they literally lost. Right? If they didn't, get the most of what they wanted from it. The other thing is that you should be prepared for her leaving. If she leaves, well, you move on to the next. That's an alpha thing to do. A beta thing to do is to cry about that she left. So I'm only stating facts. But I'm seeing that a lot of the red pill community is turning into basically third wave feminism or third wave red pillism, right? Right now is a bunch of sausage fest, a whole bunch of guys crying together over chicks. It's like, wait, what? No, it was about understanding ladies, understanding why they do what they do, how they pick, and how they pick the bad boy, why they pick the bad boy over the good boy, why, and then it's like, okay, try to adopt some of the characteristics, not the shitty behavior of an alpha, right, or fuck boy or bad boy, whatever term you want to use, but take on some of the characteristics that will get you picked, right? Will get their attention to be like, oh, he looks like the type of guy I'm interested in, and bang, they just so happen to pick a good man because you are a good man, but you presented yourself off like a bad boy or alpha or fuck boy or whatever. You gave off a perception. Basically, it's the bait and switch. You clickbaited them. They thought they were picked. Their body was reacting like, oh, he's a fuck boy. I want him. Right? Their body was reacting to you like you're a fuck boy, but in reality, no, I'm a good boy. I don't cheat. I'm loyal. Blah 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 blah. Right? All the good stuff. All the things that chicks talk about they want is in you. And that's the thing. If you're a good quality dude, you definitely need to put on the wolf's clothing, as they say. That's the thing. If the chicks are going to keep picking the wolves, but she keeps talking about she wants a sheep, well, then the sheep better put on the wolf's clothing so he can get picked. And then when you're in bed, surprise, I'm a sheep, right? Weird analogy, but you get my point. It's like, like I said, I'm a good guy, but, my interactions with the ladies is like, okay, I gotta be suave, right? I gotta be cool. Sometimes I gotta mention that, that I'm popular with the ladies, right? That I do talk to other chicks. Interesting enough, it doesn't turn them off. If anything, it turns them more on, right? But the most important thing is always asking questions about them to get to know them, right? Because that's what they don't get from alphas often. Alphas, or bad boys, fuck boys, whatever, they tend to make things more about themselves. So you, as a good guy, hopefully you're a good, decent human being, right? You will want to get to know her, and think about it like role playing. Ain't nothing wrong with being a bad boy from time to time, if she wants you to smack that ass, right? If she wants you to, make her wait an hour to text her back, then so be it, right? If that's what she's used to. Because sometimes some chicks, a couple of my exes were like that, where they were like, oh, I'm so used to a guy treating me such and such way. I'm like, okay. So you're used to some guys being bad boys, right? So you date a lot of bad boys and you're used to that behavior, so you're not used to a good boy. Okay, so you want me to be a bad boy. And that's the thing, the fact that I've been asked a couple times to be a bad boy when I was being a good boy, right? When I was being myself. I thought, okay, you want me to be a bad boy. You want to be a lot like your exes, because I'm not like your exes. I'm totally different, which is ironic because it's like, well, isn't that the point? You want somebody that's not like your ex. They're your ex for a reason. But ironically, I was told by multiple chicks that that they prefer for me to act more like their exes. I'm like, all right, well, I'll see what I can do. I personally didn't like it that much because it's like, well, that's not me. I'm literally pretending to be something I'm not. Right? So that didn't work out too well. But I did, of course, by trying and imitating, I did learn a little thing or two about, the usefulness of acting a certain type of way, saying certain things. You know, I'm always practicing, trying to figure out uh, the best words to say, the best questions to ask. You're always trying to prove game, right? That's the thing. Especially, I had a conversation with a guy. He makes content, and just trying to talk to him about like the importance of game because he keeps trying to be like, no, no, you gotta be good looking, you gotta be 6 feet, you gotta be in shape, you gotta have money. That's the only way chicks are going to like you. It's like, no, that's not true. That's a lie. Would they like those things? Yes. Is that always going to be the case? No. And from my personal experience, if let's say it's anecdotal. From my personal anecdotal experience, you don't need all those things. I barely have those things. I'm barely 6 feet. I'm barely in shape. I mean, in clothes I look big and buff, but I'm still working on it. And getting better shape, and get my money up there. Into the big 7-8 figures, right? So yet I'm still getting all the alpha treatment. I'm still getting all the view, the attention from the ladies, all the interactions. I'm talking to them, they respond. I'm not getting, rejected. I'm getting a lot of choosing signals. So I respond to the choosing signals, right? Shit, I got some chicks where I'm like, I didn't think she seemed interested, but I'm starting to get a vibe that she might be. Like, there's some chicks where I'm like, yeah, I don't think I have a shower. Like, there's some chicks where I'm like, yeah, she's out of my league. Right? Even I couldn't, pull her. But I'm getting some responses, getting some feedback, as they say, right? So it's like, she's not. It's the attention. Like, I got her attention. She knows that I exist. That's a start, right? Because you know how it is. A lot of these chicks, you know, especially like if they're on Instagram, so that they got like a whole bunch of followers and stuff. So the likelihood of them noticing your comment or your likes or whatever. Something I started doing. I don't think I should share that. I'll share it anyway. I don't like giving my big secrets, but sometimes some chicks that I have some interest in, that I'm trying to get their attention, especially if I can't get their attention, like in comment sections and stuff. The story thing, like you can share their posts into your story. Like you can share other people's stuff into your stories. It doesn't have to just be your content. So you can deliberately share other people's stuff. And I've been sharing stuff left and right to just to get some attention. And that's how I've been noticing a lot of ladies been keeping tabs on me. I'm like, oh, okay, y'all ladies keeping tabs on me. Good to know, right? And ironically, I'm not going to give too much secrets, but there's some obvious communication going on in the story section, and it's like, yeah, that's a little secret right there. In the female handbook, is they like to talk with stories, like they secretly communicate with stories. That's an interesting thing. So, because there was a chick that I was communicating, like we were DMing each other, and then the DM stops. But what didn't stop was the story situation. So I'm seeing certain correlation. I'm like, noticing your story looks like it's a direct response to my story. I'm seeing something going on here. So you're trying to tell me some stuff through your stories, and I'm testing, and to confirm it, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put some stuff in my stories that I'm trying to relate to her and see how how she reacts, and then to see her stories kind of reflecting what I'm putting out there. I'm like, okay, she's mimicking me, right? She's putting out what I'm putting out, same energy type concept, right? Oh, okay, we vibing, same energy, right? I use one example, like, okay, the idea of you know having kids. So I started posting stuff about having kids, being a father and stuff like that. And then to see her, post, either that she has a kid or something similar to that, right? I'm just using this as an example, hypothetical per se, right? Technically, it actually happened, but anyway, hypothetical, right? It's like, now I know annoyance after battle. Yeah, so I don't disqualify, chicks for certain things. I mean, some stuff just don't make sense to disqualify chicks for, but I'm not going to get into that right here. Point is the difference between alpha and beta and sigma, which is essentially incel, from a female's point of view, because sigma males tend to just be total assholes, and basically they're just incels who are they're vincels is what I call it. They're voluntarily incels. So they volunteer to be incels. So that's that whole sigma male thing there for me. But the alpha and beta thing is, A, B, right? 1 and 2. Number one, her number one choice and her second choice, right? Her backup. B for backup. A for plan A, right? And that's the end of the video.